Hello, Dolly. This is probably, I say probably, that's probably an incorrect word. It is the biggest show to ever come here, would you say?
Biggest show to ever come to you.
Yeah. Hello,
very
Dolly.
Proud.
September 25th and 26th at the Stanley. Derek is in with us right now, and Louis J. Stadlen is playing Horace, Vandergelder.
Correct.
And, Louis, if you would get really tight up on that microphone. We don't, our mics are very weak. Very weak here. So this is interesting. As this is, is it traditional for you to be a part of a tech show and come in and the whole thing gets built? I guess it is something for every show that you would do.
Yes, but it's been recent that road shows have been going to Utica and to doing it because the Stanley Theater
it is beautiful.
Gorgeous,
yeah.
Beautiful theater. Yeah.
And are we treating you well? Are we treating the cast and the staff and everybody, the crew?
It's been one of the real lovely surprises. I've never been to Utica, and I love Utica. Everybody's so friendly. Food's good. Staying in a nice hotel.
Well, you're apparently taking them to the good places.
Or you just came last night.
I've been here a week and a half.
Just kidding.
It's all
Just
real.
kidding. A lot of great people here. You're right. You are correct.
So, and the beauty of this is they picked up everything in New York and brought it all up here, and we're getting close. So next week, the 25th and 26th, and is it Tuesday, Wednesday?
Tuesday, Wednesday.
Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. And so explain your character. For those that don't know Hello Dolly, give us a little bit of a background.
Well, if Hello Dolly is about anything, it's about a group of people finding love within a 24-hour period. And all of this is manipulated by Dolly Levi. The role was originally created by Carol Channing, who did it thousands of performances.
Yeah.
And I think that Betty Buckley is going to be the best Dolly Levi since Carol Channing.
Wow.
Yeah. It has a magnificent score. We did a Zitzprobe, which is the after working with a piano and a timpani, all of a sudden we heard the full orchestra, and the orchestrations are they're brilliant, but they're also very humorous, very witty, and brilliant dancing. The choreography is by Warren Carlyle, but being very respectable of the Gower Champion original choreography.
Wow.
Jerry Zaks, who has this perfect comic ear, is the director. And we're recreating what was basically a happening with Bette Midler on Broadway. And it's just, it's a very life-affirming show in troubled times.
Yeah.
So it's very nice that we're going to go from Utica to Cleveland, and we'll be on the road for a year, spreading joy and happiness.
Well, that's I think it might be needed greatly today, right?
Greatly.
So, Derek, you've been witness to all of this. Describe what you're seeing here. This is pretty incredible.
As Louis was saying, it's having Mr. Zaks here and his show here and the orchestra is phenomenal. I mean, I don't think people really understand how hard they work to do this.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a tough schedule. They work super long hours, and so much goes into it. I mean, it's unbelievable to watch the tech phase and everything and how it comes together. I mean, a lot like making a movie.
Sure. Yeah. Does it get easier after? So this is the tech phase. Does it get once everything is built and done, and it's old hat? The traveling is probably can be a little difficult. Does it get easier?
Well, it's very interesting. If you're going to do a television show, and you have 5 days to do it, you get neurotic on the third day, and then on the fourth day you say, "Wait a second, we're going to have to do this."
Yeah.
With a play, you have 5 weeks, so you get neurotic after about the fourth week. And you say, "I got to do this." No, it's what I love about the road. And my first job, I was 19 years old. It was the first national company, Fiddler on the Roof. This was in 1967. And the variety of doing a touring show is so much more enjoyable for me than Broadway. Broadway is nice, the reviews come out, you're kind of stuck in a hit, if it is one.
Right.
And you're punching the clock, basically.
Right.
But to go from one city to the next, and also to gauge the different audience reactions in different cities is fascinating.
Yeah.
And, you go in, you stay in a nice hotel, you go eat in nice restaurants, and then when you get a little bored, you're out of there.
You're out. You're gone.
You're
Yeah.
gone, yeah.
I always am attracted to the horror stories. So if you've been doing this since the 60s,
Yeah.
there's got to be one in mind. It's like, oh, my God, the time we went to blank, you will never believe what happened. Do you have one of those stories?
How much time do you have?
You have many stories. Give me one if you could.
Shelley Winters. All right.
Okay.
I did a musical. I made my Broadway debut. I played Groucho Marx in a musical that was not successful, that everybody wanted to be successful
yeah.
because it was about the Marx Brothers. And she played the mother, Minnie. It was called Minnie's Boys. Now, the problem with this musical, and it wasn't only Shelley's fault, was that it was kind of a show business musical that they wanted to be like Gypsy. But Gypsy is not about Gypsy Rose Lee. Gypsy is about this dysfunctional mother. All right. So now we're doing Minnie's Boys, and it's about Minnie, and the conflict is, will the Marx Brothers become successful? You know?
Yeah.
So there's a flaw.
That's
you know?
a flaw.
There's a flaw.
Yeah.
At any rate, she was competing that Broadway season with Katharine Hepburn, who was doing Coco, and Lauren Bacall, who was doing Applause.
Yeah.
So not only was she making her musical comedy debut, I think she played Ado Annie, as a matter of fact, in Oklahoma in the 40s. And she could remember every single lyric from every show that she ever did when she was 20.
Wow.
And she couldn't remember one lyric from Minnie's Boys. All right?
Oh, boy.
Yeah. So she was, she said to me, the first preview, she knew that the one thing I had done was I played Muddle the Tailor in Fiddler on the Roof.
Yeah.
See, so she said to me, "Would you do me a favor today for the first performance?" I said, "What? What do you want me to do?" She said, "Don't talk to me like that. You know, I won 3 Academy Awards, and I'm a..." And she had only won 2, but you know, why not?
Right. Who's counting?
Yeah. So she said, "Would you play the part tonight, like Muddle the Tailor?" I said, "You want me to play Groucho Marx like Muddle the Tailor?" Yeah, and it got worse from there.
Wow.
Yeah. Now, a person who was crazy, but I loved him, was Mickey Rooney. All right? Mickey Rooney, who was thrown on the stage when he was 4 years old. So he really never had a choice.
Right.
And when Mickey would talk to you, he was used to people walking away from him, so he would grab you by the shoulders and he would throw you against the wall. And he didn't realize that I just loved the guy.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
I loved him.
Yeah.
And we would have conversations. The first day, we were rehearsing in Los Angeles. This was a hastily thrown together production of the Sunshine Boys, which I originated the role of the nephew in the original Sunshine Boys.
Wow.
And they knew that Mickey was never going to learn the lines. This was his protest. He never learned the lines out of a sense of principle. You know, he wanted to be in charge of how well he told the joke.
Right.
You know, so the first day on rehearsal, I said at the end of the day, I said, "Does anybody know a good doctor? Because I think I'm coming down with something and I need some antibiotics." And Mickey said, "Well, let me take a look at you." I said, "What do you mean you take a look at me?" I said, "I need a doctor."
Yeah.
He said, "Well, I was almost a very great doctor." I said, "You were almost a great doctor?" I said, "What, in a Dr. Kildare movie? Were you assisting Lou Ayres? What are you talking about?" He said, "No, I was nearly a great doctor." So I didn't realize that he was crazy. So I said to him, "Well, I don't know, Mick, you know, if I was going to be, wheeled into the operating room."
You want him?
And I looked up and I see that Mickey Rooney is going to operate on me. I don't know how good I'd feel about that. And tears rolled down his cheeks. And he said, "What are you talking about?" He said, "I was very nearly a great surgeon." I thought, "Oh, this is."
So he believed that he was.
He You know, he was this brilliant, talented, I hate to say it, almost idiot savant.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
But he was a great actor.
No doubt about it.
Great actor.
Your stories are tell you about the career that you have had and are having is just amazing that it goes back as far as it goes.
Yeah.
But some of these stories that you must have are just incredible. And you're here. It shows you, Derek, the size of this show and the quality of the show that's here in Utica next week.
Absolutely.
Pretty incredible. Louis J. Stadlen playing Horace Vandergelder. We're really excited about it. It happens on Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. For ticket information, again, what's the phone number? I don't have that in front of me.
315-724-7196.
Louis, thank you for taking the time.
My pleasure.
Getting in here early in the morning. We appreciate it. And
never again.
Never again. We've become part of his story. These were these no-names, and they thought they were radio people. Louis, thank you so much. We appreciate it. Got a break.